everyone, Michelle McCarthy here from Homeschooling in the Pines. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am participating once again in an ongoing collaboration with April from the Simple Rugged Path, in where we are sharing our curriculum for the school year and sharing with you all what we like and we don't like. So I will post on top the videos. Last two that I did, I talked about my morning routine and I also talk about my math curriculum. So I will post those up in the card on top so you can see what I'm using for writing for math and what I'm doing for my morning routine. And also make sure you check the playlist below so you can see what everyone is using for all the subject. Each week we are touching in a different subject. This week we are talking about writing. So I'm going to talk about writing. Next week I think is grammar, so make sure you check that playlist so you can see what everyone is using for their curriculum. This is great, especially for people that are thinking about homeschooling or you are a new homeschool parent, just to get ideas of things that you can use, because there's so much out there. And just watching videos, this is how I pick my thing, is by when I started homeschooling, by watching YouTube videos of people like me that are sharing what they're using. And this is why I love to do this, because I like to share my love for things with other people, and I like to help other people pick curriculum. I love to help people. I just give them ideas and tell them what works for me and what doesn't work for me, so because it might help them in their decision of picking a curriculum. Okay, so today we are talking about writing. I used to not like teaching writing. Even when I taught school years ago, I taught special education. Writing was always the hardest thing for me to teach. I always struggled with that. It was so hard. I was trying to find different things, and I taught kids with special needs, so it was a little bit more challenging for me to try to get them writing, especially when I taught high school. So today I am falling in love with teaching writing to my kid because of Brave Writer, and I want to share with you all what I use for writing with Brave Writer. Everything that I use for reading, writing, spelling, grammar, everything is Brave Writer, or rooted into language, where they all mesh together well with Brave Writer, because the two ladies, they know each other, and that's how I met. How I found out about rooted into language was from Brave Writer, and I'll talk to you all about that really quick. So the first thing, Brave Writer has what is called the Writer's Jungle. It is a survivor's guide to writing with kids. This is a guide for parents to learn how to teach kids how to write. This is very different from anything you have seen before. You will not see in here, teach your kid, find a main idea, make sure after writing a main idea they have 5 details, and make sure you add 2 paragraphs in there. No, we don't teach that. Brave Writer doesn't teach writing like that. It's more about using your children's voice first, okay? Teaching how to get that voice out of them, okay? Everything else will come with time, but you need to get that voice out of your children, okay? And that's helping me also, because I was, all the curriculums that I used for the last 2 years, they were like that. Make sure you have a main idea, and it was just so hard, things that my child didn't know when to write about. And so this has just been great. The Writer's Jungle is a guide. This is for parents. I have done a couple of the activities in here. I read the whole guide, but I haven't used all the activities in here. One of the first chapters is language arts, and the things that they teach here in language arts are the things that I use with some of the other that I do with some of the other Brave Writer products that I will show you really quick. So one of the ways that Julie tells you to do write this, work through this book, is you read a chapter, you do what's in it. You read a chapter, you do what's in it. I cannot do it all backwards. I read the whole thing first, but I think for next school year I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna start just working through this guide with my daughter. But I go back in here and I get ideas and things, but I haven't got that deep into the Writer's Jungle. But I love it. This is gonna be my guide this is from now to high school, and I will use it with my son too. So this is for like your whole student career in school. Okay, so the Writer's Jungle. Okay, so for writing, Brave Writer has some writing project products. This is called partnership writing. This here is for kids from about 9 to 10 years old. I'm using it with my 11, almost 12-year-old. This is more by developmentally where they are. I try with homeschooling my child, I try not to look that much at grade. I try to look at see where she is and what she needs. And I felt, because this was our first year with Brave Writer, to start a year behind in the different developmental ways of writing. So this one is partnership writing, and there is a couple in there. They have I think it's called Jot It Down. It was the first one is for younger kids, then it's partnership writing, and then faltering ownership and help for high school. Okay, so I'm doing this one, and then next year we'll do faltering ownership. Can't say that word. But anyway, so this is 10. In here, there are 10 writing projects for you to partner with your kid. These are really fun projects. So the first project we did this year, we did a timeline, and we got pictures, and we got creative, and we wrote about, you know, each of the things. So we did a timeline from the beginning when my daughter was born to now. You know, we picked some things here and there, and it was really fun. Right now we are working on creating our own island. So my daughter is having so much fun, and we're taking it slow. She's drawing maps, and you know, it's a fantasy island that she has created from Stranger Things. She kind of mixed it all in there, and it was really fun because she gets to use her, you know, creativity. She gets to use the things that she loves and put it in there. So this is gonna take us it's gonna take us probably about another month to do, because we're gonna be working on something else at the same time. But it's just fun, and it gets them writing, it gets them thinking, and it gets them writing, but in a way that's fun for them, and it's not so like with all these rules, and she'll get there. So yes, this is what we are using for our partnership writing. We are loving it. There's 10 projects in here. You don't have to do them all. You don't have to do them in order. Right now we're only in our 3rd project, and it's February, and that's okay. We're taking our time and doing all the activities in here. So if you need some writing projects, this is just great for your kid to work with your child. Okay, next I have the Arrow Guide. So this is the guide that we are using with the literature that we are reading. So this month, like I talked, we are doing Johnny Tremaine, and we should be done with it this week. We're having a book party on Friday, so we should be done with this week. And each week, this Arrow Guide is separated into 4 weeks. And each week, and I've done a review of this before, so I will post that on top when I talk a little bit more. Each week, there's a passage that we study, we copy. You know, we copy the passage, we do, you know, some copy work, we work with spelling. There's a couple words in there. You can pick words for the kids for your kids to practice spelling, vocabulary, grammar. Each week is a different grammar skill to practice in a very organic way, okay? Because it's using the book. There's questions in here that you can use. There's activities in here to do a book club party, ideas. I need ideas, so they're all here. Questions. I say there's a literary element activity that you do at the end, and there's a writing activity. So it's all in here. And so this is what I use for reading. This is what I use for writing. You know, also with the partnership writing, I use this for spelling, vocabulary, reading comprehension, everything. The Arrow Guide that I do every month for, you know, with a literature. Okay, I use a different grammar. I don't need to, but I felt like I had to. Julie Bogart, she recommends touching grammar 3 times in your kids' school career, 1 time in elementary, 1 time in middle school, 1 time in high school. But I felt like I had to do, but it's very gentle when I'm using, and I will talk about that in video for next week. Yeah, so this is what we use, the Arrow Guide, and there are tons of Arrow Guides that you can pick from. There's a subscription that you can buy for the year, but I think, and I did it for this school year, but I think for next school year, I'm going to pick and choose the more books that I think my daughter is going to enjoy, because she has enjoyed some, she hasn't enjoyed all of them. So I'm going to help her pick the books that I think she will enjoy, instead of me, you know, picking for her. But we have been, you know, enjoying it, and there's so many books you know, that have Arrow Guides. And then for the older kid, you know, for a little bit, you know, older, they have, you know, the boomerangs, and for the younger, they have the quiver of arrows, and they also have, you know, the wand for the kids that are learning how to read. So this is just a lot of wonderful products out there. Next thing that I use also to work on reading comprehension and writing is by Rita Savasco from Rooted into Language. And I found that about Rita Savasco from Brave Writer. And a lot of the activities that you do that are in this, you know, products that I'm going to show you, I can use with the literature that I'm using from Brave Writer, because they use about kind of the same elements, the same, they kind of work hand in hand. That's why I love them. So really quick, the first thing I'm using is Trees in the Forest, Growing Readers and Writers Through Deep Comprehension, and this was written by Rita Savasco. And this is teaching you how to make connections with characters, with the stories, by doing activities in this book. And they have, I'm taking it slow with this, and they're just great activities. And like I said, I can use some of the passages in the arrow guide with the activities in here. So that's why I love it. Next is annotating literary elements. And in this one, they have activities, and they kind of, all of this that goes hand in hand, you know, how to, you know, annotating literary elements. Next one is what's the second one here? Lesson 2, exploring musical elements. This is more for poetry. Next one, what was the next one? Was here, exploring writer's style. We haven't gone through all of this, and we might not finish it all this year, but we're taking it slow and going in a specific order. And you know, the lesson 4, the annotation bookmark. So this is how, you know, also how to work with that plot in you know, in stories. Okay, but this is also by Rita Savasco. And last thing here that I'm using is explore a story graphic character journal, draw, write, and think. Also by Rita Savasco and Tracy Molitor's. I always think I'm saying that wrong. And she also helped write all these other books. I'm sorry, Tracy. And this is just to make connections, explore characters in stories. We started doing this past week, and we are talking about my daughter took a character. She loves reading The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and she took a character from The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and we are exploring that character by working on a journal entry. And there's 23 in this book. And a couple weeks ago, we didn't have this yet, but we were exploring characters from a character from the show Stranger Things. So we kind of did the same thing with one of the characters from Stranger Things. So it's okay to use movies and television to explore characters, to work a plot, and all those things. And I'm going to be making a video about that too, because that's the Brave Writer element that we're going to be talking about for the month of February. So I want to share all with you how you can use movies and television to work on writing and work on I'll have a little visitor here, my little cat, to work on writing and working on plot arc and all those things. Okay, so yeah, so this is what we are doing to work on that, and also working on writing. Another thing that I do for writing, we do free writing. We try to do it every week. It doesn't really happen every week, but it's also it explains to you in the Writer's Jungle how to do free write, and you can find online and YouTube from, you know, Brave Writer ways how to do free write. Okay, and I do that with my kid too. Okay, when she's free writing, I'm free writing also. So yeah, so this is what I use for writing and reading and grammar. Everything that I show you right here is all from Brave Writer and from Rooted into Language, and I just love it. I cannot say anything negative about it. So far I am loving it. This is very gentle, and we are having so much fun. At least I am, and I think my daughter is too. Because it's different. It's not like anything else that's out there. Brave Writer is just unique, and it's pretty amazing, and just incorporating all the different elements of the Brave Writer lifestyle. Is just all about writing, all about language and reading, and it's just been amazing. And you know, I think slowly, you know, my daughter is, you know, she's reading a little bit more now, and we're incorporating more reading and into our home, and it's just been pretty amazing. Okay, so please go ahead and check Brave Writer and check Rooted into Language. I will post below where you can find all that information. Yeah, so make sure you check the playlist below so you can see what everyone else is doing for writing and all the things that we already talked about: history, math, and our morning activities, what we do for the morning. Okay, so make sure to check that playlist. Also, make sure, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And again, my name is Michelle McCarthy from Homeschooling in the Pines, and I will see you all soon.